apologize in advance, but we took a bit of a longer break than expected. But hey, at least we're back. Sorry.
Hello, welcome back. I've missed you.
It's been a minute.
It's been so hard not texting you because you have not been in North America.
But I'm back, baby.
But you're back, baby, and
honestly,
we're back.
Time flies. It went by so fast.
So fast. For anyone who's new here, Alex and I took a break because Alex went on her honeymoon 2 years later.
2 years later. It was like really funny, like trying to say like anywhere I could sneak it in on this trip. I'm like, we're on our honeymoon.
Yeah, did you get any like, fun free perks? Like free desserts?
Champagne. We got champagne in one of our hotels, and I'm convinced that it's the reason why I didn't have to pay duties on the fancy bag that I bought coming home, which I will tell you the story about.
Okay, can't wait to hear.
I have many stories for y'all, so this entire episode is basically going to be dedicated to me talking about my trip, and I got lots of notes. I took notes while I was away. I knew what I wanted to talk about.
I also took notes, and it's titled Alex Left Me for 3 weeks, and we'll be talking about that next week. It's gonna be hard for the next hour not to really talk, but I'm very excited.
That one should just be titled Tony Rose and Her Thoughts.
No, truly, it is actually scary once you write down your thoughts, how fucked up your thoughts are.
Yeah, because like something can feel really good in your head, but once you put it on paper, you're like, ooh.
Did I delete a couple? Absolutely. You're never knowing. I even filtered through them.
So, quick recap. So, we went to Paris, Positano, which is in the south of Italy, like near the Amalfi Coast, and then also Rome. I've been to Paris before when I was like in high school, but it was like a school trip. So it doesn't count. Yes. I'm like nullifying that because I remember literally being at the Louvre and my friends were like, hey, do you want to like ditch this and go to Sephora? And we all know I immediately said yes. So doesn't count. Haven't been to Positano, and then we were in Rome when we got engaged, so we just wanted to like revisit it so because cute. There's just like Rome is just so, it feels so homey for some reason. Have you been?
Yes, but also a school trip, so
it's like half and half.
Yeah. It's like I've been, could go again, have a different experience.
And I think it was just nice to know that like you're going somewhere where you're familiar because we stayed in the same area because it has everything there, like right by the Spanish Steps.
Yeah.
Everything is there.
That's when I first discovered Brandy Melville.
In Rome?
Yep, it was really cool. It was
it's like an American company.
It was 3 streets down from the steps, and we all went, or whatever it was. And yeah, it was so cool.
I was literally walking by, and I was like, "What is this doing here?"
I'll never forget it. It's so funny. I didn't know it was an American company.
Yeah, it's like a California-based company. I thought interesting.
I don't shop there. It's one size fit all, and I do not fit in one size.
So. Even when I weighed 130 pounds, I couldn't fit into it.
Yeah,
I remember the shorts, and I was like, one size fits all for a pair of shorts?
It's actually funny, not to get on a side tangent, but like society has changed so much, yet Brandy Melville still stands alone on the one size all.
Because they have the market group of like prepubescent girls that do not have any curves, any shape, and they're still too small to even fit like Aritzia double extra small. So like that's who Brandy Melville is for. Okay,
that makes sense.
They're for the pre-pubes.
Let's rewind. Ew. No, literally. Okay. Let's rewind. On your way to Europe, you upgraded to business class. How was it?
1,000% worth it.
Was it a lay-down bed?
No, it wasn't a full lay down. It was like you had like a footrest that came up and you could go in, but it's like you're in the shell. So even the person in front of you and nothing happened.
Oh, that's amazing.
And you're also just in twos. So it's just me and Steve.
Wait, cute.
And it was a bigger TV too.
What a fun way. What did you eat on the plane?
Oh, the food, not as great.
No? Okay.
Yeah, let me backtrack. Okay, so first day, so obviously it was like all over TikTok and in the news where it's like airport lineups, like 3 hours long. And so our flight was at like 1:30 in the afternoon. So I was like, let's be there for like 9:30 in the morning. I'm like, let's just be safe. We can always just sit in the restaurant or something, you know, and kill time. We get there, literally 5 minutes. Literally the fastest I've actually ever gotten through security. There's 3 people ahead of us in security.
Wow.
And I think what could have maybe taken us more time is like because we had the business class, we got to go in the separate check-in lineup.
1,000%.
And my bag that morning, I weighed my bag. It was 65 pounds.
Did you pay for overages?
I took out a little bit. I moved some stuff over to Steve's, and I was like, it was still like 50-something pounds because the max out's like 50, right? Yeah. And I was like, I'm just gonna have to pay. I'm like, there's nothing else I can take out of here. So because we were in business class, they just overlooked it. So she's like, no, it's fine. Like it's not that bad.
That's
and I was
amazing.
Like, okay, thank you. So it's like that alone. I was like, okay, that's like $100 right there. And you saving me time. My time is worthless.
sometimes.
My time is priceless.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got through security in like 5 minutes and we're like, okay, sick. So we just like, we went and had breakfast. I worked in the airport just to like tie up a few things before we left. And then we tried to upgrade to like the lay down beds, but they were like completely sold out because we were going to try and do the we're on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And like, she's like, we're sold out. There's nothing we can do. And I was like, okay.
Oh no.
But yeah, so like we got to Paris. So the thing is, so our flight was at like in the afternoon. Did not sleep a wink on the entire flight. Yikes. I just could not sleep to save my life.
Excited too.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I was excited, but I knew, like, I was trying so hard to sleep, but I just couldn't for some reason. And, like, they brought food and drinks so often, like, which is, like, it's great. The first, I mean, I feel like the food's just, like, gone downhill, like, obviously, over the years. It's kind of just one of those, like, reheatable things. What did I have on the way there? I think it was, like, chicken and like mashed potatoes, but it's like this big, so it's like really tiny.
Yeah.
And they give you these weird salads. It was like tomatoes and edamame, and I was like, that's a really weird combination.
That is weird.
Yeah, like what's up, like potato salad? I don't know. I'm just being picky here. And then I was really excited for the dessert. I was like, ooh, cheesecake is fucking lemon. I hate lemon-based dessert.
I love lemon-based desserts.
But I think it's just because I was like going into it thinking it was something else, and then I got lemon. I was like,
that's actually one of the worst feelings in the world. Like thinking it's one thing and then it's not. Or like leftovers, you've been thinking about it all day in the fridge and someone fucking eats it.
Do you know how many times Steve has done that to me? And it's always like the best leftovers too.
Oh, that's so sad.
But so we landed at like 9 a.m. Paris time.
Oof.
And I was like, I'm fucking dead.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is, again, with our business class, when you go through like the like customs, there was a much shorter line.
Oh, I did not know that it applied to business.
It's hit and miss. Depends like what airport you land in. Yeah. So it was like, what's it called on Air France? There's like a special name for it. Sky Miles or something like that.
Sky
so it was like
Priority?
Sky Priority, yes. So there was like signs where it's like, oh, if you're a Canadian citizen, go here, but if you have Sky Priority, you can go here, and it just was much shorter. So we just went there. And then we got to our Airbnb and we're like, okay, let's take like a quick like 2-hour nap. Literally slept for like 6 or 7 hours. Like woke up like at nighttime and we're like, fuck. And it was a struggle to get out of bed too. So then we just went. We ate first night.
Where in Paris did you stay?
We stayed right on the Champs-Élysées, like
pretty.
Yeah, like right next to. So funny. It was like right next to like the Disney store and a Zara. I was like, this is my motherland.
Everything that you would ever need.
Yeah, and our room, it was so tiny, like like very very small. Like you walk in the door and the door almost grazes the bed.
Sweet.
But it was perfect for what it was. Like, I mean, like I had like a little small kitchen. The Airbnb was great. Like he had little snacks and he had like a fully stocked fridge with stuff, which was really nice. The one gripe that I had with every place in Europe was the showers were so fucking small. I couldn't even put like my elbows up to like lather my hair.
And you're 5'3". Imagine being like 6 feet.
yeah, that's very true. And like in that first place, the hot water, you couldn't run the shower the whole time. Oh. Like I'd have to turn it on, like get my hair wet because it only had a certain amount, so I'd have to like turn it off to like conserve it so I wasn't like having a cold shower by the end of it.
No.
So small first world problems. It was fantastic. But I'll give the highlights of Paris. So highlights was we went to Disney Paris.
How was it?
I was so excited. It was our first day. So obviously I was up at like 4 o'clock in the morning because of like still fighting jet lag. So did my hair, did my makeup, had a cute on little cutesy outfit. I was like, I was vibing and I was having a great time. And then I felt so bougie because now they don't have fast passes anymore at Disneyland.
Genie Pass.
Yeah, it's like Genie Pass. So you just pay a one-time fee to skip the line. And so I was the most excited for this Ratatouille ride. Okay. I was like, I've been like thinking about it for like so long, like from when we like originally planned our honeymoon 2 years ago. And so we get in the lineup and it was like an hour and a half or something. And I was like, we could stand in line. Or I looked at Steve. I was like, or I can pay $30 and we can go in immediately. And I was like, what do you think $30 is worth to me? It's worth nothing. I am doing this right now. So we immediately went in. And I think I did that like twice, I think.
What was the Ratatouille ride?
It's
like, was it fun?
You haven't been on Rise of the Resistance at Disney.
No.
So it's like you're in like a little mouse car and like because you're in the restaurant and they're chasing you, but it's like it's one of those ones where it's not on a track, it's like on like magnets. It's just very good.
It's not on a roller coaster, right?
No, it's not a roller coaster.
Okay, cool. I
did go on this Crush's coaster, like Crush from Finding Nemo, the turtle.
Oh my god.
It's a roller coaster and in the dark and it spins. while you're moving.
Oh my God.
I literally couldn't recover from it.
My vertigo says hell no.
Yeah, I was struggling really hard that day because we went on a couple of thrashy rides, and then there's 2 separate parks, and then we went to the other one, and there's Indiana Jones, and it's like my favorite ride at Disneyland, so I was like, oh, let's go. And it turns out it's a roller coaster, and I was like, Steven, I don't think I should go. I'm already not feeling very well.
Yeah.
And he's like, you don't have to, but then I kept telling myself, I'm never going to be here again.
Yeah.
I have to go. So I think I like legit gave myself a concussion that day from like hitting my head so much from like all the thrashy rides. And that in conjunction with just being really tired, we sat on a bench and I fell asleep. Like not like halvesies fell asleep, deep fell asleep like within a few minutes. And I was like, I can't even keep my eyes open right now. So like we left at like 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So the rides are not the same as the one in Disneyland.
No, they do. They have different ones. They have some that are similar. But yeah, it's very small. And I've heard from a lot of people who are very like avid Disney people, as myself, and they're like, you're gonna hate it. It's not very good because and what makes it not good is the employees. Because when you go to Disneyland in the US, they like live and breathe Disney. They do those college programs. Like people love working there and they want to make it magical for you. In Europe, they give 0 fucks. They're like, to them, I swear it's like the equivalent of working at a gas station. Like it's like they hated their lives.
Oh no.
Even like, the food in general in France, unless you're going to all these like really amazing restaurants, was like not good for me. No, I could not find anything that was like, this is amazing. No. Yeah. Okay. I think like I'm just not a big foodie, so I'm not going to put the research into it.
1,000%.
But I don't think it should be that hard to just walk around a very touristy area and find an okay place to eat.
Yeah. I have a question. Yes. Or not a question, but this is going to be old news by the time this episode comes out because it happened a while ago. But in Disney France, did you see the guy ruin the proposal in front of the Sleeping Beauty castle?
No, because that just happened like last week.
No, but did you see it on, like, have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
How great, because you're like, the employees make it the worst. It made me think.
Well, okay, I saw, like, a Philip DeFranco episode about that.
Oh, I didn't watch it yet.
Okay, so for anyone who, like, doesn't know the situation, so in Disney, California,
No, it was Disney Paris.
Oh, no, it was Paris. It was Paris, you're right. I mean, now that makes a lot more sense. Yeah. But yeah, so it was like a couple that got up on like a platform. So it was a beautiful view for them and for the guy to propose. And he's like proposing, and a cast member comes through, like literally between the couple, touches the ring and is like, okay, you need to come down this like platform immediately. And everyone's like booing, obviously. And so Philip DeFranco brought on someone who used to like be a cast member and was like, what's your opinion, like based on your training? And she's like, well, both parties are obviously in the wrong, but she's like, the person that's most in the wrong is the cast member.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, yes and no. Like, it was pretty harsh. I get it. You let one person, they all go and whatever. But it's like, you took their property, ripped it out. That's like, the thing. You could have waited until she said yes, at least, to have the moment. That's exactly
what the girl said. Okay, she's like, it was already happening. It's
done.
So it's like, you let them quickly finish, and then you kind of man up and like man up the station, and you don't let anyone else do it, because now you've just like completely fucked up a moment, and you touched their personal property, especially something that was insanely valuable. Yeah, most likely.
It was rough. I wonder if he got fired.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
But I think they issued an apology, and they're like, we're going to make this right with the couple.
They're getting married at the castle. Just kidding.
I wouldn't doubt it if they were like, you can go. Because I saw another TikTok of a girl who was sleeping in Sleeping Beauty's castle.
I've seen that too.
Yeah, like she won it by doing some kind of like scavenger hunt. You can't even pay to stay there. No. You have to like be invited. So.
I have an embarrassing like confession. Okay. So like, I don't know much about Disneyland. Like, haven't watched Disney movies in a while. I thought that was a Cinderella castle up until this year.
There's different ones, so every single one is different.
Okay. In Disneyland, it's the Cinderella castle, right?
I believe, Disneyland is Cinderella, and then Orlando might be... Sleeping Beauty's castle is Paris, I think. I can't remember. I'm not the right person, but they are different.
Oh, okay. So I am right. Okay, I'm right. That's not embarrassing.
I'm pretty sure the one in Paris is Sleeping Beauty, though.
Yeah, I think so, because that's where all the articles... That's why I was like, wait, what? I thought it was Cinderella.
Yeah. They do them different. That's why they're like different sizes.
That makes sense.
Different.
Makes sense. Okay, cool.
But yeah, so that's my Disney day. And then we did like Palace of Versailles the next day, which was there. I planned my 2 most exciting things like on the first 2 days. And like the Palace of Versailles, we did a bike tour around the garden.
So fun. It was too hot for us to do that.
Oh, it was perfect. Honestly, the weather the entire trip was sunny, hot, dry, amazing.
That's awesome.
A little bit too hot on some days where I was like, I was not mentally prepared for this. But the bike tour, like that day was just like, I felt really bad for the, what do you call them? The tour operator person?
Tour guide?
Yeah, the tour guide, because Steve and I showed up late because we were waiting on the...
Not shocked.
No, we left early, but then we just got really confused at the like metro because we were waiting for like the number 9 and the number 1 kept coming, and I was like, but the sign says that the number 9 is here, but really we had to walk down like a corridor.
Me, my sister and I also took the metro there as well, so I know what you're talking about.
Well, we didn't take it all. We had to like meet at a point, and then we took the like big one to go. So we're on our way, and like they're calling. I was trying to get in touch with them, but like I couldn't get a hold of anyone. Finally, they call me and they're like, where are you? And I'm like, we're 15 minutes out. I'm so sorry. Like, if we need to meet you out there, like we can do that. We literally just caught them as they were leaving. Thank God. So we go, and it was so embarrassing because there's this like giant group of people, and I was like, I'm really, really sorry. Like, this is
they probably think you're American. Like,
and I was like, I literally was like, I'm so embarrassed that like I held this up for you because I know if I was you and like I was someone else, like I'd be so mad. So like, I'm so sorry for wasting your time. I had to because I was like, if you don't say anything, then people are like, they're just steaming on you the rest of the day because you're with these people. It was an 8-hour tour, so I was like,
damn.
Yeah, exactly. So we get there. They let us into the palace first, and he's like, okay, meet up with me at like 12 o'clock or something. So we're like, okay, well, like 2.5 hours, this is a pretty decent amount of time. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like, you went through it fast.
Yeah.
And so I did Rick Steves. Do you ever use Rick Steves?
Yeah, or no, I bought the one, like I rented it at the place.
Oh, next time you go to Europe,
what's a Rick Steve?
You don't know Rick Steves? He's like one of those guys that like goes all around Europe and does like...
Oh, yeah. Well, like I know, he has books.
Yeah. So he has an app that's free that you can download stuff, and it's all walking tours. So he'll have an app and be like, go here, and then he'll like tell you about it, and it's all free.
That is so cool.
And he has like walking tours. So like he has it for the big places. Like that's what we did for the Vatican. And it's not even that we didn't want to, it's not that we don't want to pay, but his are just concise. They're like an hour. He shows you the best of the best. Like so you're not just like nitty grittying the rest of the way.
Yep.
So we did that. And then we were kind of just like killing time. And then I get a call from the guy, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I told you guys the wrong time. Like, can you come back now? And we're like, oh yeah, like we just finished. So like, we're totally fine. We come back, but like he couldn't get a hold of everyone else. So we were still standing outside waiting for everyone. And he's freaking out because I guess he didn't have enough minutes on his phone to call people.
Oh my God.
And then people didn't have their phones. So that was a bit of a shit show. So finally, everyone shows up. Then we walk back to their place, which is like really close to the Versailles. We get our bikes.
Yeah, cool.
We start riding, and he's like telling us like these are all the hand signs. Like sometimes you need to group together, sometimes you need to go singular.
Yep.
And then we're just starting, and I'm just like, of all things to happen to me, flat tire.
No.
And Steve legitimately, because there's this giant lineup of bikes, he's like, can you not take one that has a flat tire? And I was like, oh yeah, literally took one with a flat tire.
Oh my God,
I was like,
what'd you do?
I swear it wasn't flat when we left. I was like, I must have like just run over something in like the 3 blocks that we've gone. So we were going to a market first to like get food because we were going to take that food and eat it in the garden.
What a cool tour.
So the garden wasn't that, or sorry, the market wasn't that far away. So like the tour operator switched with me, and he's like, let's get to the market, because then we had like an hour and a half, and since it wasn't that far, he's like, I'm just gonna come back and trade the bike out. So we trade, we get there, we all get our food, blah blah blah. And then 2 people also like just left the tour at that point for some reason.
They're like, I'm out.
So everything's kosher, we're good, we get on the bike tour, and it was really nice because it was really hot, so you're like,
the breeze
is nice.
I love biking.
And then the tour was really great. He takes us all around. He's telling us these really interesting things.
Was the garden cool? Because my sister and I were there when it was 40 degrees out, so we physically could not stay outside longer than like 20 minutes.
That's fair. So it goes in front of like where like the 2 main big fountains are, and then like the rest is literally just foliage. It's not like there's anything grand. Like, it's the more interesting part was like him explaining, whatever they call, like, not a lake, but whatever like you call the thing. Like just him telling us the stories of apparently like, they used to have like elephants and stuff, and an elephant got out of the enclosure and just plopped in, and like they couldn't get it out, so it drowned. They couldn't get it out, so it just I don't know by now if there's any remnants there, but there's an dead elephant at the bottom of that thing.
Whoa.
And how
that's deep.
still to this day, there's not enough power to turn all of the fountains on at the same time. So back in the day, a guy would have to come, because it's like a cross, right?
Yeah.
So a guy would have to run ahead of King Louis, turn it on. So when he walked by it was on. When he walked past it, he would turn it off, run to the next one, and did that every time he wanted to do a walk, just so he didn't know.
That is the worst job.
Yeah, but that's just the riches of King Louis and Marie Antoinette back in the day and whatnot. So it was fantastic. So we ended with that, and then we also got to go to like her little village. Did you see that?
No, we couldn't get there.
Oh, we didn't go there. Far,
yeah.
But like the insanity of Marie Antoinette, where she was like, she built this house where she could go, where like no men could go there.
Yeah.
And then she builds this entire little village where she wanted to pretend to be a milkmaid. She wanted to pretend to be a commoner. So then they literally paid peasants from the town to come and pretend to be peasants in her little village. So,
Marie, my girl.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see it. But we go there, our tour guide's like, hey, you guys have like 15 minutes. It's like not that big.
Yeah.
Literally, we lose someone. And it took us we're waiting an hour for him to like get back to us. And then eventually he was with, like, it was two couples that were together, and it was one of the husbands that just kind of fucking vanished into thin air. And then we're waiting, nothing's happening. And then finally, like, both of the wives were like, okay, like, we're gonna go back to the beginning. Maybe he went back.
Yeah.
So then they leave. And then after a while, we're like, we think they went the wrong way, actually. Like, now they're probably lost.
Oh,
so then we're all like, fuck it. We walk back to the front, and then we find the original guy that's lost, and now we're waiting for the two other women. Like, this poor fucking tour guide. It was just like one thing after the next in this day. Like, I'm late, flat tire. He tells us the wrong time. Someone gets lost. Like, I told
another
Steve,
person gets lost. Another person gets lost.
I told Steve, I'm like, you're tipping him very well today, because he was a really dope guy. Really, really nice guy. So all in all, highly recommend, if you're going to go to Versailles, do the bike tour.
I really like that. I will do the next time. It was really funny. The first time when I went to Paris with my family, it was sideways raining. Sideways. And we had to wait in a huge, huge line for like hours to get in. And then when my sister and I went a couple years ago, we paid for one of the groups to cut the lines and stuff. And then it was like too hot. So we're like, we've yet to see the whole place because the weather has just not been on our side.
It was like, the inside was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
If you've been to what was it? The Louvre. Like, there are rooms in there because the Louvre was the original palace they lived in before Versailles was built.
Wait, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so they have like much more grandiose rooms that I was expecting at Versailles. So that was a lot like more interesting personally for me, but really recommend the bike tour. It's a really cool way to like see all the grounds and like just cover a lot of ground for the day. But yeah, those are kind of my highlights of Paris. We did the usual, we did the Louvre, we did all of that stuff.
Did you go up the Eiffel Tower?
Did not go up it. We just walked around it.
Smart. Did you watch Twinkly at 11 p.m.?
We actually, on our last night, we went under a bridge and just sat on like the Seine, whatever it's called.
Yep.
Sat there and then just waited for it to twinkle and turn on. And then we called Steve's mom on FaceTime because she's like obsessed with it. So I literally just like turned it on for her to watch it for a minute, and then I just hung up on her.
Cute. Oh my God, that's awesome.
So overall, the stuff to do in Paris is amazing. I will say I don't like the people. Yeah. And it's like, it's not a new thing that people say like the French have like really piss poor attitude towards tourists, but like I am not one of those like Americans that's like, act like me, have my customs. Like, I'm saying my bonjours, my mercies.
Which they almost like hate more because like you say it horribly, but I'm like, I'm trying.
Yeah, it's like, would you rather I just like speak English from
because I feel like,
it's just like a lose-lose situation. I'm like,
totally.
Do you just want me to evaporate into thin air? Like, I'm bothering you.
No, totally. And it's also annoying because like we're freaking Canadians, and so I always wear like a pin or something that says I'm Canadian. Like I'm that person. But did you ever have a croque madame or a croque monsieur?
Which one's that?
It's like the egg. It's like, okay, bread, an egg, cheese, and like bacon, like all cracked in. It's like
didn't see that anywhere on a menu.
No, it's on every menu. It's my favorite.
I'm telling you, it's not, because I 1,000% would have had that, because that's all I wanted. All I wanted was eggs.
Me and my sister had it every morning.
This is the thing, is because I think we just stayed in the wrong area.
Yeah, so it's so hard to pick an area.
So there's a lot more touristy stuff that was like more. There's actually a lot of Italian places around there, which I was like, that's the only good food we had in Paris.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, we stayed around the Spanish Quarter, which was like closer to Notre Dame, like right across the bridge from Notre Dame.
Yeah, we were quite far away from there. So
it's just so hard. Like how are you supposed to pick there? Like ours was randomly picked.
That's why like I was really overwhelmed with where to stay as well. So I was just like, well, this seems safe because at least we know there's lots around there. Yeah, like if you need anything, and it's like you can take the metro anywhere. It's just like, you know,
love
it's kind
the
of like
metro.
in New York.
Yeah, I love the metro. But
metro is really good to get around. The one thing I wish we learned to use though was those e-scooters. They're fucking everywhere.
Me and my sister use them.
They're amazing.
We literally scooted from the Eiffel Tower to our hotel. It was like an hour ride, but the cobblestone.
Oh,
like my head, I was like, I don't.
My glasses were just like literally going down. I'd have to like brace myself just to like push them back up.
I was like, Sarah, I don't think my brain is attached. I think it's just dead. Like it's like gone. But I love those.
The trick is you put your foot right to the very front of the scooter to put most of your weight on it, so it doesn't rattle as much. We figured that out on the last day.
It folds.
Wiggle.
Okay, love that. Okay, where to next?
Okay, after that was Positano. So we flew from Paris to Naples, which, have you ever been to Naples?
No.
She's a dirty city.
Oh, shit.
She looks run down, needs a facelift. It just looks like it's completely run by people.
Oh my God. I've been to Sicily, Rome, and Venice.
Okay, yeah. It was just like, we were like driving by and I was like, a lot of people like, you need to go to Naples. I was like, this does not look kosher to me. But we drove through, we got a car service because it's the only way to get into Positano is car service.
I was just going to ask, it's hard to get in there,
and it's expensive, like round trip. I mean, I understand why it costs as much as it costs now, but it was like $450 Canadian round trip.
How far the drive?
An hour and a half.
Oh.
But it's like windy
I would
the
die.
entire
I'd
time.
Throw up.
That encompassed with the flight of like an EasyJet flight, like going like, you know, sideways to fucking land. I wanted to fucking kill myself. I'm literally sitting in the car and Steve's having a really great conversation with the driver. He's a really nice guy.
He's one of those.
And he's like looking at me, he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm literally taking all of my energy to not throw up right now.
I can't be in a car more than 20 minutes without throwing up.
Yeah. So, especially like when you're in the backseat too, and then it's like winding. But we get there. And have you ever been to Amalfi or Positano?
No, it's on the list.
So of course, because they're on this like giant cliff, right? Our hotel is at the very bottom, like right by the ocean. And our driver's telling us, he's like, yeah, there's this service that you can pay for, like, to get your luggage down there. And I was like, looking at the map of like where the parkade was, because you can't go with the car all the way to the bottom. I was like, it looks fine, like to see it. It wasn't even like a cost thing. It wasn't even like we're cheap. I'm just like, I just don't think it's necessary. I think it's really close.
Oh, no.
It was not close.
No.
And like, I didn't realize how much of a monopoly it is for them to use that, because they literally have like a back road that just hits all of the hotels. So
smart.
it's like, it's magical. But yeah, it's literally us on the cobblestone with our suitcases, like like going through crowds of people. It was so embarrassing. So fucking embarrassing.
That gives me the ick.
Yeah. I give myself the ick. Steve is sweating. He's like looking at me like, this is all your fault for saying it's not that far. So we finally get
Maps
there.
Are so deceiving.
So
like
deceiving.
They're not accurate anyway. Obviously,
I'm sure it wasn't even that long of a time, but just the embarrassment makes it feel longer. Is the thing. And like, I'm getting huffy and puffy because people are in my way. I'm like, get the fuck out of my way! I have this giant suitcase. So
I'd love to see that.
Yeah. We get there, we check in. Our room was like, it was a typical hotel room. I really liked it, but we had a fantastic patio. Like, the view was unreal. I was like, oh, like, and I'm not gonna lie, I picked like the absolute cheapest room like at this place, because Positano is not a cheap place.
It's expensive, I hear.
It is. But the thing is our hotel is the only one that has a pool. On the 5th floor, it has a pool that overlooks the ocean. It's like, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. And like, everyone else that we talked to that wasn't staying at our hotel, they're like, yeah, like, we wish we stayed somewhere that had a pool, because the ocean is like, it's nice. It wasn't that warm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like deep enough into the summer yet, but it's not like,
I'm a pool person too.
Me too. I don't fuck with sand.
I fuck with the beach, but like, I come up early to spend more time in the pool. Like, I'll do, like, I love the pool.
Yeah. I just don't like sand, is really all it is.
I mean, so valid.
And like, the thing is it's not like the teal clear water. Like, the water looked like it does here. So I'm like, I'm not interested. And people who were like at our pool saying they went in, they're like, it's very rocky, like it is here. So I'm like, if it was like the nice sand, maybe I would have given it a shot. But Steve went because he's like, we have to. And I'm like, eh. But yeah, we mostly just did pool days. So I got a really nice tan.
Was it fun? Like, what is there to do in Positano? Like there's shops and restaurants?
There's shopping. They don't, in Positano specifically, they don't have any of the designer stores. You have to go to Capri, so you have to take like the ferry. So the first day, just a pool day, just hung out. Second day, we took a ferry to Capri, and that's where like all the like major designers.
How far away was that?
It's like a 30-minute ferry.
Okay, nice.
It's not far.
Day trip.
Yeah, but like it's expensive. They really like it's like $100 round trip.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So we did that, and I kind of had like a mini tantrum in Capri. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Because I was like,
you want to go through it, or?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll be honest, because this is just the way that I travel. Because I could have just done 3 days of pool in Positano, but Steve's like, we need to go to one of the islands. Let's go to Capri, and like he'd been there before, and I was like, okay, like we'll go. Yeah. We get there, and he's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, what do you want to do? Yeah. I want to be back at the pool. So you tell me what you would like to do. So like, he's like, let's just walk around. And I don't know if you know this about me. I can't just go for a walk. I need a purpose. I need a destination. And like, Steve is very opposite. He just likes to wander. And I'm like, I think for me, it's because I like to pace myself. I want to know how much energy am I going to be expending so I can pace.
That makes sense. When I'm on vacation, I'm a whole different person. I can walk just to wander. But when I'm here, I'm like, I'm with you.
It scares me even more on vacation because it's like, I'm like, okay, it's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I still have to survive until 10 o'clock at night. Like I need to, and it's really hot outside. So I need to pace myself. I'm going to get sunburned. Like it's just, I'm really neurotic. I'm so neurotic. And like, this is just something Steve and I have battled our entire relationship.
Love that.
So literally we're like, he's like, let's just walk. So we're walking, we walk, run into a hotel. Like, and it's all like concrete. So you're not even looking at anything nice. So like hit a hotel. He's like, okay, we got to turn around. Walk, hit another hotel. Okay, we got to turn around. And I was like, I'm not even seeing anything. Can we do something else, please? And then he's like, anyways, couples fight is what it is.
Yeah.
But then, we got back, and we had like the most amazing food. Like once you hit Italy, like you can't go wrong. Yeah, like everything is amazing. Arancinis? Did not have any of that.
Oh my god, they're my favorite.
What is that again?
Arancinis are like the rice and cheese balls with like meat inside.
No, I didn't see that on the menu anywhere. Really weird, because I would have fucked with that.
Literally, that was my beach snack.
No, so like good. For me, it was a lot of carbonara.
So good.
I love carbonara.
Italy was the first time I tried vongole. Mussels, like that mussel pasta. Oh my god, so good. And I had it the other night as well.
We went to the same restaurant 4 nights in a row.
Wait, I love that.
Because Positano is, again, it's not very big, and it was right next to our hotel. You didn't have to walk up the hill. And, we kind of toyed with going to some other places that people recommended. And I was like, yeah, but what if we walk all the way up there and, like, it's full?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. So I was like, this is where all the celebrities went. They had literally pictures of, like, Jimmy Fallon and Jason Momoa on the wall. And I was like, you can't go wrong.
Did you have the same thing 4 nights in a row?
No.
Okay.
Switched it up. I would say because I was still trying to not eat like a shit ton of pasta. Right. I was mostly having like veal cutlet with like a salad, but it was like it hit the spot. Yeah. It was perfect. Steve was like making friendlies with the guy at the pizza.
Wait, I love that Steve's that type of person.
He loves focaccia, and he just loves like he has this like bro-y mentality sometimes. Yeah. Like the first night he gets focaccia, he's like, this is the best focaccia. And, he's kind of like going like, hey, like, great job to like the pizza guy because he can make eye contact with him. And we heard that apparently you can get a PhD in pizza apparently in Italy. And there was 3 guys in all of Positano that had this like pizza PhD, and that was one of them.
Okay, so fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Then once we heard that, Steve's like, oh, I need to, like, next night, then he got a pizza. I was mostly sticking to my veal cutlet, but I would switch it up, get a little bit of spaghetti here and there. But the drinks, I don't drink alcohol. Steve would get wine, but like the main drink of Italy, lemon soda. Have you had a lemon soda?
Oh, is it limoncello and soda?
No, it's just carbonated lemonade. No it is the best thing, and it's the only thing. It's the only thing I can drink in Italy because
it's refreshing.
I also don't know if you know this about me. I'm a bit of a water snob. I feel like we've talked about this.
No, I know.
The tap water here in BC is 10 out of 10. You cannot get better than that. Even bottled water in Europe tastes weird to me. So like I felt disgusting the whole time because I was drinking like Coca-Cola, lemon soda, because I couldn't drink water.
I'm so excited to talk about my Toronto trip because you've mentioned so many things. I have the same mentality.
Really?
Like the water.
No, please tell me.
Okay, water in Ontario is disgusting. It's the first thing I noticed. I'm also a water
Which
snob.
is weird because they're like right next to a big lake, so you would think that they have like the best fresh water.
But it's like man-made. It's like not a real thing.
It's true.
I am a water snob as well because I love, like, nothing quenches my thirst. Like, look at this than water. And I can tell when it's not, because we're spoiled. So it's like I noticed it, and Bailey, my friend who lives there, has been there for 2 years. She's like, oh, I never noticed. And then another girl that we met up with, she just moved from BC. She's like, oh my God, the water sucks here. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. So
I think it depends on the building too. It's like the pipes can sometimes fuck it up. Like our old building we lived in, I didn't like the tap water there. I had to filter it.
I didn't even touch it.
Yeah.
Not one time.
So yeah, like I couldn't even drink the bottled water. So lemon soda was like the winner.
Oh my God, I love sparkling lemonade. So that sounds like something.
They're so good, and like they only have them in Italy.
Yum.
We're not maybe like in Europe, but I don't know, most popular there. But also, when we went to Capri, the lemons literally the size of fucking footballs.
I've seen them, and apparently they're sweet.
So the thing is the only way you can get them. No, you can eat them. They sell them. You can't take them.
Yeah.
You can't bring them back with you anywhere, and you can't buy them anywhere. Like, they don't ship them out. They just keep it as like you have to come here and see it kind of thing. I really wanted to get one so I could try it, but you have to like order a drink, and it was like literally like €25, and I was like, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Like, because €25 Canadian is like $40. I was like,
expensive.
I could not be bothered.
Yeah.
Could not.
Nope.
So that was Positano. I'm trying to think, cranky day at Capri. I literally wrote down in my notes, cranky day at Capri. Okay, so we left Positano, took our windy little road back, took the fast train from Naples to Rome. I
love traveling the trains in Europe.
It was really nice. We got like one of the like little suites where it was cute. Like it wasn't very busy. So like we could have literally just sat there probably if we wanted to. But yeah, it was only like an hour and a half.
Nice.
And then we took the metro and then walked to our place. So our Airbnb in Rome, we got like one of the Airbnb pluses, which means like it has like crazy reviews. Airbnb has reviewed it. So like just because of the experience from Montreal, I was like scarred.
Yep.
Same thing. Like our one in Paris was like 5 stars, like and tons of reviews. I was just not taking any chances.
No, I like that.
And she was a really, really fantastic host, and she messages us, and she's like, hey, I'm really sorry. There's an elevator in the building, because we were on the top floor, 5th floor. She's like, there's an elevator, but they're actually fixing it right now. I thought it would be fixed by the time you got here, but it's not. So she gave us a $300 refund on our thing, which I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I would have paid $600 to have the elevator back, because it was 110 steps every night to get to our room.
Oh, it like didn't work at all.
Didn't work at all.
So you had to bring your 65-pound suitcase?
Well, Steve took my 65-pound one. I took his like 50-pound one. And it was like steep steps too. So like every night, and it's like as you're going up, it's getting hotter and hotter as you're going up. Oh my God. But that was really the only downfall of it. But like I wanted to kill myself every night. It's just like when you're like walking around for so long, at the end of the day, you're just like, oh, I just want to hit air conditioning.
Yes.
It's like one last hustle to the top. But I swear, like every night I would have an ice cream, and I'm like, it's okay. I'm walking up the steps at the end of the night.
Nope. Totally. Love that. Oh my God. The gelato. Did you have potato pizza?
No.
It is God's gift to the world. I had it in Rome, and I've been talking about it for years. And then my parents finally went to Italy a couple years ago. I'm like, you need the potato pizza. And then they got it. They found it, and they said it was amazing.
Oh, I wish you would have told me about it. I would have checked it out. Honestly, like I said, I'm not a big foodie, like, so I don't really like look for the interesting stuff.
No, me either. I just walk upon these things.
The only place that I wanted to go, which I didn't even end up going to, was this place called Double Dragon in Paris, and apparently has like the best Chinese food, recommended to me by someone who I would consider to be very, very well traveled and very snooty. So for him to say this is the best Chinese food in the world, I was like, damn, we gotta go. But they didn't open till 7, and when we were in the area, like we can't stay here until 7.
That's one thing about Europeans. Like, love you guys, I love your vibe, but why are we just going to the club at 1 a.m? Like,
I know.
What are we doing here?
It's because they're literally sitting at a bistro for like 4 or 5 hours just sitting.
And they all have
smoking.
like siestas. So like we need that.
I love a good siesta.
Me too.
The only thing about Rome was like my allergies were like off the chain. I literally texted Tony Rose. It was like my second to last day. I literally, because my allergies were so bad, I ripped out all my eyelashes because my eyes were itchy and watering the entire time. And I was like, fuck this.
But the way that you phrased it was like, so I had a breakdown and I ripped my eyelashes again. I'm like, oh my God, what did you do?
I always do it. And I immediately messaged my lash girl being like, hey, my allergies are really bad. We need to like change my next appointment to a full set.
Oh my God. That's
but it
so
was
funny.
bad. Like I was like sneezing nonstop. It's because everything there is like gravel.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah,
it's the dust.
Yeah.
So like the first day we went through like the Borghese Gardens, which is all dust. So like that got me off to like a shitty start.
Okay.
But I always recommend going to Villa Borghese. It's like literally the best part of Rome.
I don't think I went when I was grade 10, so I don't remember.
It's really random. Steve and I went last time. We were there too, and it was such a random thing that he's like, I want to do this. And I was like, okay. And it's amazing because it's a small museum. They only let in a certain amount of people at once.
Yep.
And it's air conditioned.
Love that.
And it's only with tours, I'm pretty sure, that you can get in. And it's just like the stories behind it are just so interesting.
Yeah.
Like if you like the whole stories of like Marie Antoinette and stuff like that, it's like that kind of level.
That's cool.
Of like opulence and stuff like that. And they have like the amazing sculptures by like Bernini and stuff like that.
Cool.
Like, like Daphne and Apollo and stuff like that.
That's sick.
Always recommend that. I'm looking at my notes. What's next? Alex allergies. I made a note of hectic Zara. So
okay.
Because it was so hot and I was so like, I felt very ill prepared. Even though I brought like 60 pounds of fucking shit with me, I was like, damn, I packed completely incorrectly. Everything just felt so heavy. Like I brought all pairs of jeans and like,
it's not breathable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then all the dresses I brought were like, they were cute, but they were just too like fancy for
they're not
daytime.
practical.
Yeah, not practical.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. So like I tried when we were in Paris to go to Zara because I was like, oh no, if it's going to be this hot in Positano, I need some stuff. It was so fucking busy that like I couldn't even go. We tried to hit 2 different ones, like in 2 different areas, and like they didn't have air conditioning and it smelled like literal crap. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to put you through this. So I told Steve, like, day 1 in Rome, like, we need to go to a Zara. And it was a huge Zara, very well air conditioned, 10 out of 10.
Okay, love that.
4 levels.
Whoa.
Crazy hectic. I'm just like, putting stuff on my arms. Like, literally, I think I had like 20 items. Because I was like, the lineup for the change rooms it took me like half an hour just for the change rooms. And the men's floor was on the top. Not a single soul was on that entire floor. And I'm like, can I try this on here? And they're like, no, you have to go downstairs.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
And I was like, why? But so anyways, eventually I got some stuff, but like the whole ordeal beginning to end 2 hours just to like get some clothes.
Insane. I would die. I would not do it.
And then after that, I was like, I had been talking about getting myself a fancy bag. Yeah. I had been going back and forth about it. And I saw a couple of, because like this is a bag that I've wanted for many, many years. Yep. And so I was like, hey Steve, I'm like, let's just go look at it in person. I want to see how I feel about it. Does it bring me joy? Does it spark happiness in person? So we're walking and then we go and I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a department store similar to like a Nordstrom that they have there.
Oh, fuck. What's it called?
It starts with an R or something.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm going to look up.
So we go in there, we find it. I kind of just talk to the sales associate. I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm thinking of. So he whips it out. The second he whips it out, I'm like, that's my purse. I'm like, I'm getting it. Cute. I'm staring at Steve and he's like, oh, just do it. I'm like, okay, fine. If you twist my arm. But the fantastic thing, and keep this in mind if you ever do it, this specific department store, because obviously with us being Canadian citizens, you don't have to pay tax.
Oh, wow.
You didn't know that?
No?
Yeah, you don't have to pay tax. So as long you can always get the VAT, which is like European tax. You can always get VAT back as long as you buy over 170 euros worth of goods.
Oh, good.
So the process is basically I bought it. You pay the tax, but then I went downstairs and you basically have to just input your passport number and then you put your credit card in that you pay for and then it refunds you within 2 business days.
Oh my god, amazing.
And that was just like a plus for buying it from this place. Normally you have to go to like a different place and then it takes a couple weeks, but that was like the plus of just buying it from this place.
That's really cool. Was it Lafayette? Galleries Lafayette?
No, that's Paris.
Oh, we're in Rome.
We're in Rome.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I tried there, but and I looked through it, but I don't know, nothing. Though their setup made me uncomfortable for some reason. They didn't have a lot of stuff, which was weird.
Fair.
So basically the whole process, you get that, but then you have to physically take the item with you when you're leaving on your flight to go back to Canada. Okay. You have to physically have the item with you. You can't pack it away to declare it. Yeah. Well, because like the customs people need to sign off on it because we went back to Rome before we went back, so they need to stamp it to be like, yes, the item exists, she's taking it with her kind of thing, and then you need to mail it and then you're good. And then that's what I was saying. So like when we got back to Canada, the customs bureau. So I said on the computer thing, it's like, did you go over your allowance or whatever? Because the maximum allowance is $800. Like when you're gone for 7 days, like that's the max out. So I was like, yes, I've gone over. So I was expecting them to pull me over. But then when you go talk to like the person, she's like, what were you gone for? And I was like, we were gone on our honeymoon. And she literally looked at me and she's like, hope you had a great honeymoon, and then like left, and like no one flagged me down. So I'm like convinced that's why I didn't have to pay duties on it. So by buying it in Europe, getting the tax back, I saved $700.
Wait, I love that. So you're still happy with it? She's beautiful.
She is the moment.
Which one do you want to say? Which one you got? Like what bag you got? Do you want to show it?
I got a Dior saddle bag. I will show it. Pause. Okay, so this is the bag for anyone watching on video.
Go to YouTube right now.
She is beautiful.
She is a
black Christian Dior saddle bag with gold hardware. I've wanted this girl for years.
How is it?
The perfect moment.
I've been so used to like not over the shoulders, crossbody bags that like holding it. Like how's the holding of it?
Okay, so I also was like, that's why, I mean, not like I was ever going to buy it earlier because it's like so much money to spend, but that was the thing for me too, where I'm like, oh, I need a crossbody bag. But I found this when I was packing for Europe. I found this like Louis Vuitton bag that I got from my mom that she left me. And it normally has a crossbody, but it was like insanely long, like it was awkwardly long. Okay, yeah. But then it came with a little gold chain just to go underneath. Okay. So then one day, to Steve, I was like, oh, like, should I just do this? And he's like, oh yeah, that like looks really good. And then I got really used to it, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of fantastic.
Oh, nice.
So it's not going to be for every moment. Like, there's definitely, I've swapped purses back and forth with my usual Marc Jacobs one just for situations like grocery shopping where you need an extra hand and you don't want to like hold on to it.
But she is the moment.
She is the moment. I'm very, very happy with her.
Well, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So that was my shopping bonanza. I was literally like, when we got back, I was like, oh my god, like I can't believe I just did that.
I know, shocking, but honestly, you gotta splurge. Like, when are you ever gonna do that?
For me, I was like, it's our honeymoon. It's my 30th birthday gift to myself. Yep. I've never spent money on a bag like that before. Yep. Like the most I've ever spent is like $500 on a bag. Like, so
I spent like $200.
It's like, it is what it is. So
D's with C's.
So to wrap up Rome, only funny other story was we went to the top of St. Peter's Basilica, like within the Vatican.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always funny because Steve is really afraid of heights, like really afraid of heights.
Yep, I feel
and
that.
You know, because we paid for a tour, there's 550 steps to get to the top, or you can pay to use the elevator, which gets you like skips 350, so you just got about 200 something. And the entire time he was just like sweating and he's just running, like he just wants to get there because he knows if he stops, like he'll freeze. And I'm just like fucking panting. It was a tough one. And then when I did the count, I was like, oh, we do this halfway every day going to up our Airbnb. It's 110 steps.
Oh my god. When I was in Barcelona, the Grada Familia, that church, you know, the big church, can't remember what it's called. That same with me. So I am petrified with heights. Like I can't, like 3 feet off the ground, I'm scared. So for some reason, in my package, it included me going to the top and walking down. And for some reason, I was with a guy that was like really cute. And
we were like trying to power through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I was like, hey, well, I got it. Like, I'll go. I'm tough. So we take the elevator all the way up. It's like thousands of steps. Like, it's huge. You go up into construction, and then you walk down on the tiniest, narrow stairs. And I am crying silently, sweating, and huffing it down. Like, I left it. I'm like, I cannot be with anyone right now. Like, and I just like ran as fast as I could because there's people in front of me. But like, it was really shockingly scary.
They're very narrow. Like, especially like the spiral ones. Yeah. So like,
one little wrong step and you're down.
Yeah, we get to the top and it's like, if you've been in St. Peter's, it's like you look up the dome. Yes. We were right at the top.
Oh,
and it's
my
like
gosh.
It's all netted, so like you can't like lean over anything. So like we're there, and I'm looking over, like I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty far. And Steve's literally like hands against the wall. He's sweating. His hands are clammy.
Steve's
like
my boy.
Yeah,
I get it.
And then we walked like even farther up to the top on like the outside, and it's like amazing views, like super super great. And then so we were up there, and he's like, okay, can we go? And I was like, yeah, that's fine, let's go. And so he's just like running down. I literally have a video of him running down the stairs. He gets to the bottom, he touches the ceiling, he's like, Kobe.
I love that.
And I have amazing. A video of him just like hunched over, like I swear like, I'm saving a collection because I have something similar from when we were in Hungary, like in 2018,
cute.
of like when we went to the top of a church as well. And at the bottom, he's literally like hands on the ground, like just so grateful to be touching the ground again. So I think throughout like our marriage, I think this will happen many of times.
That's
and like,
cute.
I can't wait till like maybe like our 50th wedding anniversary, I can just compile all of these things together.
I love that. I think you should definitely do that.
Yes, that is on the agenda.
Yes.
But other than that, yeah, e-scooters around Rome, 10 out of 10. Like, fuck yeah.
So fun. Yeah, Lime.
It's a game changer.
Game changer.
We used Bird. We started with Uber just because I already had like the Uber app. But then,
yeah.
but they were harder to find. Like, they didn't have as many of them. But then we got the Bird ones, and like, oh, they're such a game changer. Because like the last time we went, I was miserable having to walk everywhere, and now it's like 15-minute
It's
scooter.
so nice. Yeah, we went back and forth from Lime and Bird. They're just great. It's an easy and fun way to see the city.
Yeah, except the cobblestones.
Literally thought I was gonna die. But oh my god, what a fun trip!
It was a really good trip. I enjoyed it. It felt like very long. We missed
Was it
Poppy.
2 weeks or 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh my god, how was Poppy?
She was good. She stayed with Steve's brother Jeff like at home.
Oh right.
So like I think she was totally fine. We just missed her. Like literally in like the couple of days, like Steve's like only 47 hours until we see Poppy. I was like, oh, I'm so excited.
That is so cute.
My last and final story is so we flew from Rome to Paris, spent the night at an airport hotel, and then we were, because we had round trip flights, and when we were flying back to Vancouver that morning, I got really irritated because it was the one time that I had to pay for my overweight luggage, and I was so fucking salty about it because like we flew Air France, Vancouver to Paris. They don't say anything about it.
Right, yeah,
we fly EasyJet from Paris to Naples. They don't say anything about it.
Wow.
We take a train, so obviously whatever. But then we took an Air France flight from Rome to Paris. Didn't say anything about it. And then we get to Paris to go back to Vancouver. And it was a different system because it wasn't like a lineup where you talk to someone. And normally, you'd go Sky Miles because we were doing business class. And because I think that's why they like kind of let it slide a little bit because they know you've paid a little extra. But in the Paris airport, for some reason, you go to like one of the little kiosks, you get your bag tag, and then you go to a self scanning thing where you put your bags in. So it automatically like weighs it. It's like, you're over. You need to pay. Like there's no one to talk to. So I was like, all right, so it was going to be $110 Canadian. And I was like, well, I've made it this far. Okay, fine, whatever. So then I say, okay, I'll pay. And then it's like, you need to ask an attendant for a heavy bag tag. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh, just go stand in line and like go talk to this person. So I was like, okay, I want to talk to someone. I want to see if I can like slide this. Yeah. And we get to her and she's like, oh yeah, your bag is over. And I was like, okay, but technically we each have 2 checked bags on our ticket. Yeah. So I'm like, we're only checking 1 each. Yeah. Can we call it square? And she's like, oh, let me go talk to someone. And she comes back, she's like, no, it doesn't count. And I'm like, so I can have 2 50-pound bags, but I can't have one that's like 60. And she's like, no.
That is so silly. Again, very similar situations. The exact thing happened to me in Toronto. I'll tell you next week, but it was like no attendant. I was there for 45 minutes sweating, and I was about to yell at someone because I couldn't find anyone.
Really?
Yeah, I'll go into it next week, but it was rough.
It was so frustrating. I literally told her, I was like, this isn't anything against you, but I'm like, I'm going to call customer service when I get back, because I'm like, for like how much we paid for all of these tickets, like I understand, but what is the difference between having 2 luggages that are 100 pounds and one that is 60? And that's I was just like so fucking flabbergasted. I never ended up calling when I got back because I just like I was too jet lagged, and I was like, I feel like I'm too far gone. Like it's just too far gone.
Yeah, you're just in the moment of.
But also, Air France bumped our flight by a day. Like the date that we were supposed to leave on a Saturday, and then they canceled that flight and booked us on the Sunday. So like we lost a day in Paris and lost a day of our reservation of our Airbnb. Damn. So I was like, you guys can, like, that should call it square. You know?
Totally. So, well, at least that last thing was literally on the way home. Like, everything else seemed
I think I got myself really worked up because that was me thinking that I was still going to have to pay duties on my bag. Because I brought my bag, like, in the box. It was my, like, carry-on piece. So I was just like, I just paid $110. I'm going to have to pay, like, hundreds of dollars when we fucking get back. Like, I was already working myself up. Once I didn't have to pay for the duties, I was like, all right.
Yeah, call it even. Do you have any apologies that you want to square away? Do you do anything silly on the trip?
Well, yeah, I'll apologize to Steve. I was like, I was such a lazy bitch, but it's like, it's a vacation.
No, 1,000%.
Because like the thing is like we just came from like different ways of vacationing growing up. Like his family was like, you wake up at 7, you're not back till midnight, you do it all over again. My mom was like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you want to sleep till 12, that's your prerogative. I don't care. So like, and that's personally what I need for a recharge in order to come back and feel renewed to like get back to work. You don't need a vacation from your vacation. So yeah, I wish I could have like pushed myself a little bit more. And I always say it in hindsight, but in the moment, genuinely, I'm like, I can't do it. Like there's no way. It's really
fair, and it's like your vacation. Do whatever you want. I grew up. My parents were kind of like Steve's, not too crazy, but yeah, we'd get up at like 9, have breakfast, go all the way out, but then we'd come back for a siesta, and then go out again for the night. We
started doing that in Rome because Rome was a lot more chill. So we would do whatever we had booked in the morning, come back for a siesta, and then like go out for dinner and like walk around, get ice cream and stuff. But yeah, I kind of wish we would have gone out, but we're also just at that age. I don't know if you're feeling it yet, but like one night of drinking, the next day is a write-off.
No, absolutely. It was so funny. I was having this conversation with one of my friends, like, I'm finally getting to the stage where I just don't want to get not blackout. I never really get blackout, but like I don't want to I can have fun on one drink. Like, I don't need to be drunk to have fun.
I can barely have one drink. Like, there's been instances where, like, I have a drink and the next day I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, it was just a casual sangria.
That's where it starts, a casual sangria. Yeah. But your birthday is in 2 weeks, and I will be drinking
the next day, I'm planning nothing.
I'm going to an engagement party.
Nice. At least my party's first. It always sucks when you're the second party. But,
it does. Yeah. But I give it my all. For my friends. I'll do it for you guys. Very exciting.
It's gonna be fun.
So fun. But we'll be back next week with
Thanks
another
for listening to my rambles of my entire trip. I hope it was entertaining.
So entertaining. I loved hearing about it. I love hearing about people's travels. A honeymoon, well worth the wait.
Well worth the wait.
Follow us on Instagram at weapologizeinadvancepodcast.
And our personal account.
Yes.
Alex_French, 2 X's, 2 H's. You can check out my honeymoon photos. I tried to post every couple of days. I feel like it was a good curated amount. Not annoying.
No, I loved it. I looked forward to them. I was like, oh my God, what happened today? Follow me at Tony Rose Goulden, Tony with an I. And then until next week.
Bye.